When was the last time any of you heard of NASA making a groundbreaking discovery? At least in the last 3 years, which she cited something from 2015. So much has happened since 2015, and they can't cite something that's happened since then because NASA has all that red tape, which we talked about. So, but if you search up, say, a private company like the one owned by Elon Musk called SpaceX, you'll find an array of incredible, groundbreaking things that they've done in the last month, 2 months, 3 years. They've done so much stuff, which I'll get into later. And my opponent claims that private companies prioritize money and getting their gains back over discoveries, but that's just incorrect. The private sector has made huge discoveries over the last 3 years that benefit all of humanity, not just their shareholders and not just Elon Musk, who owns the company, or one of the companies. And yeah, they benefit more than just themselves. And I could go on for way more than 25 note cards about it, but just to name a few, according to a presentation done by Elon Musk in March, he's the founder of SpaceX, he has found a way to reuse rocket parts, which is insane. NASA has been making rockets for years and years now, and they go up into the atmosphere and they can't land them well enough, so they are just destroyed, and that's so much money spent on that, and you can never use it again. But now, SpaceX has made rockets out of reusable parts, and that doesn't only just reduce cost, which so that increases efficiency because you can take parts from one rocket that's been reused and build another rocket with it, or you can, like, the most expensive part of the rocket, according to Elon Musk, is the primary thruster, and they can reuse that. That's the most expensive part. So you can take that, put it into another rocket, and not have to spend any more money on that. And that also reduces the environmental impact because we're using less materials, and we're not having to just use huge amounts of metal. We can reuse that stuff. And that benefits everybody. The environment affects everyone, but also he's not just like has a secret vault full of all of his information. He's sharing this, and NASA can use that, anyone can use that, and that benefits all of humanity. So speaking of reducing the environmental impact, Elon Musk also claims that they're working on a fleet of small satellites that will go around and clean up space junk, like old satellites that don't work anymore, things that are up there, and that benefits everyone because we're going to have to do that eventually. So that's nice. And they're not just working on space travel, SpaceX I mean, they're also working on Earth travel. So according to science.com, if SpaceX is successful, it'll take you about 29 minutes to get from London to New York, because you can go up above our atmosphere, and there's no resistance or weather patterns, so you can go up and come back down 30 minutes. And that benefits everyone, even the common day person that's just visiting family or going on a business trip, something like that. So what I really want to talk about is the Mars mission, which is SpaceX's main mission. They want to be able to have a sustainable outpost and community on Mars, which is insane. So according to Musk, we need a plan B if something happens to Earth. So all of these budgets and other things, that education and government that everyone else has brought up so far won't even matter if all of humanity is wiped out. The first thing we need to prioritize is saving humanity, and that will be to go to another planet. So, again, Nicole says that, these private companies are just doing it for themselves. They want private gains. But in an interview on physics.org with Elon Musk, he says, yeah, I'm going to be dead, long dead by the time that this happens, but I'm doing it to benefit humanity. So, which I'm paraphrasing. So, he knows he won't be alive to see it come to fruition, but he's dedicating his whole life and his fortune to saving humanity. I don't think that sounds very self-serving. And his Dragon rocket works with NASA to bring more cargo than ever before to the International Space Station. So he's not self-serving, he is serving other people in the International Space Station. And he's actually doing it better than NASA even helps themselves. So, Also, the Mars mission will bring humanity together, according to physics.com. It'll be kind of one single race making advancements together. And that's just incredible. We can all live together there, and it will kind of give everyone a different perspective. And that is very humanitarian. And Virgin Galactic, which is the same thing, I know you guys know Virgin Airlines, they also have a private space company that they're working on. And their original goal, which they're still trying to do, is just to make a casual space trip. You know, guys, let's go take selfies in space. Like, let's just go. So you get on a commercial, seems like an airline, but space line, and you can go up casually, go see space, and that's incredible. But it's actually appealing to researchers now because a small portion of scientists that spend their whole lives dedicate themselves to studying space can even go there. But now you can send researchers for an hour-and-a-half trip, which is what they're saying would be about, to go study space. So that's bringing out more findings for them. So, a study done about the societal impacts of a Mars mission says that if the mission was successful, it would lead to A, international cooperation, like I mentioned before, B, economic growth and resource allocation, because we know that there's ice, which equals water, on Mars, so we can get resources from them. We can kind of have co-planetary, like working together. And C, it will enable technologies. What these people are working on isn't just self-serving, and all the technology that we're making gains on in the private sector is more than NASA has done in the last 3 years, or really ever. So yeah, I think that privatizing space would really benefit all of humanity.